Welcome back, watchers of the impossible. You're watching Forbidden Files, where history doesn't just whisper, it echoes. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like we've done all this before? Same wars, same empires, same rise, same fall. Only the names change. We call it coincidence. We call it rhyming history. But what if it's not poetic? What if it's programmed? Let's start with a simple loop. Julius Caesar and John F. Kennedy, two powerful leaders, both betrayed by those closest to them. Both died on the 10th day of the month. Both succeeded by men named John. Caesar was succeeded by Gaius Julius Caesar Octavianus Lata, Augustus. Kennedy by Lyndon B. Johnson. Both were warned. Both ignored the warnings. Both were killed in the presence of their wives. You think that's strange? Try this. In 1898, author Morgan Robertson published a novel called Futility, or The Wreck of the Titan. It told the story of the Titan, the largest ship ever built, which struck an iceberg in the North Atlantic and sank because there weren't enough lifeboats. 14 years later, the Titanic sank. Same region, same month, same passenger class system, even the name, Titan, Titanic. A coincidence or a glitch? Because there's more. Abraham Lincoln was elected to Congress in 1846. John F. Kennedy in 1946. Lincoln became president in 1860. Kennedy in 1960. Lincoln had a secretary named Kennedy. Kennedy had a secretary named Lincoln. Both were shot in the head on a Friday, in the presence of their wives, by men with three names: John Wilkes Booth and Lee Harvey Oswald. Booth was born in 1839, Oswald in 1939, and both assassins were killed before trial. Still a coincidence? Or are we being replayed? What if history isn't just repeating itself metaphorically? What if someone, or something, is resetting events? Rerunning timelines like simulations, testing outcomes, pushing civilizations to the brink, then pulling them back. Some call it prophecy, others call it fate. But there's another possibility, one hidden in classified experiments, lost blueprints, and forbidden archives. What if we're inside a loop created by a machine? A machine built not to travel through time, but to make time repeat. And maybe that machine isn't fiction. Maybe it's already been activated. In 1943, the U.S. Navy conducted a strange experiment in the Philadelphia Naval Shipyard. It was called Project Rainbow, but you might know it as the Philadelphia Experiment. They claimed to make a warship invisible to radar, but witnesses said something else. They said the ship disappeared entirely, reappeared miles away. Crewmen were fused into the hull still breathing. Others vanished. Some were never seen again. The man who leaked the story, he claimed the Navy was trying to bend time, not just light. He also vanished. Years later, a classified extension of the same research re-emerged under another name, the Montauk Project. Allegedly operated out of Camp Hero, New York, the project aimed to develop psychotronic weapons, mind control, and temporal distortion. A man named Preston Nichols, once a systems engineer, claimed that in the 1970s and 80s, the Montauk-Charon interface connecting a subject's brain to machines was used to open time portals. He said he saw them send children into alternate time, that some never came back, that they created artificial loops to test responses. Madness. Then why was Camp Hero sealed, guarded, and its underground levels erased from all blueprints? In 2008, a construction worker repairing a subway line under Geneva made a bizarre discovery: an iron chamber etched with strange equations. Partially collapsed, buried beneath centuries of sediment. 2 weeks later, CERN shut down for maintenance. And what does CERN house? The Large Hadron Collider machine capable of smashing particles at near light speed. A machine that some physicists, including Dr. John Ellis, once theorized could manipulate the flow of time itself. CERN even ran an experiment in 2016 openly titled Time-Symmetric Quantum Theory. What were they really testing? Theories say the collider may have opened micro-time loops, and that some people began to notice objects out of place. Memories that don't match reality. History? Subtly, some call it the Mandela effect. But what if it's not misremembering? What if it's echoes of a looped timeline, slightly altered each time we pass through? If time is a river, we assume it only flows forward. But a machine built to twist space could, damn it, redirect it, force it to repeat until the desired outcome is achieved. And maybe the strange patterns in history, the repeated assassinations, the mirrored wars, the ghostly inventions, are not accidents. Maybe they're resets, tests, refinements in a program we don't know we're in. Because here's the most chilling thought. What if time is not broken? What if it's behaving exactly as someone designed it? There's a story from ancient India. A king falls asleep for a few minutes under a tree, and in his dream, he lives an entire lifetime. He marries, fights wars, watches his children grow. Then he wakes, and it's still morning. We call it myth. But what if it's a memory? Because more and more reality feels too familiar, too perfect in its chaos, too orchestrated in its randomness. Historians have long noted cycles. Empires rise, fall, repeat, inflation, collapse, a savior, a dark one. It's always the same. Like a story retold by a tired author. But now, science is catching up to the suspicion. Some quantum physicists suggest that time may not be linear at all, but layered stacked realities, vibrating in sync, diverging only when observed. Others propose something darker, that the universe itself is a simulation, and time is its clock cycle. In 2021, researchers at Los Alamos discovered a repeating pattern in cosmic radiation, like a heartbeat behind the fabric of space. They didn't know what it meant, but one of them called it, off the record, the engine sound of the simulation. If history is repeating, maybe it's not fate. Maybe it's not prophecy. Maybe it's maintenance. A self-correcting system that reruns timelines when something goes wrong. Pandemics, world wars, extinction events. Maybe they weren't failures, just reset conditions. That would explain why every so often, someone remembers things differently. Why entire groups swear something used to be true, but isn't now. Why history feels less like a story and more like a script. And what if some people by accident or design remember past loops? Deja vu, past life, memories, dreams of places we've never been, but know by heart. Some spiritual traditions say the soul reused, modified, tested, over and over. And what about the time machine? Maybe it was never a machine at all. Maybe it's this, right now, this moment, a self-aware loop, trying to see itself. So ask yourself, why do the patterns repeat? Why do the same mistakes echo through centuries? And most chilling of all, if you've lived this life before, would you even know it? Or are you reading these words for the second time? Again.